Hello, Just2 Film here. It's that time of the year again, third year in a row, where we take a look at the Oscar nominations, and I give you my thoughts on if I think that should be nominated or if I don't think that movie should be nominated. This is for the 2024 Oscars, which recognize movies released in 2023. Okay, so for Best Picture, American Fiction, which I'm hyped to see maybe tomorrow. Anatomy of a Fall. I love that movie. There were like maybe 4 or 5 movies that got an 8 out of 10 last year for me. No 9 out of 10 movies, and that was one of the 8 out of 10 movies. Anatomy of a Fall is like a very interesting courtroom drama, which I do not like courtroom dramas. And it's very nuanced in what it's trying to say, and I love how it explores its characters in a courtroom setting, which is something I don't think I've ever said with any movie. Um, I love how it looks visually. I love the use of music in the film. There's some great performances. I hope the lead, I think it's Sandra Hüller or something like that, gets nominated for Best Actress. But yeah, that one deserves it. Can't speak on American Fiction. Barbie got nominated for Best Picture, which I didn't expect that at all. It wasn't one of my like top fives, but I actually really liked Barbie last year. I think it might have made my top 10 of last year, but it definitely made my top 15. I gave it a 7. I really did like that. I didn't expect it to be nominated for Best Picture. The Holdovers. I did expect this to be nominated for Best Picture, and here's where it gets a little controversial. Your girl does not really like The Holdovers that much. It's funny because I am a huge fan of Paul Giamatti. I'm a huge fan of the director Alexander Payne. And I've watched most of Payne's movies. There's some early movies that he's directed that I haven't watched. Early pornos, actually. Yeah, he directed, like, he started as a porno director or something like that. Uh, but with The Holdovers, I just felt like the story was very generic. The character arcs were very generic. The performances were great. Like, I loved Paul Giamatti. I forgot her name. It's like Davine. I forgot her name, but she was like the supporting actress. She was fantastic as well. The kid was pretty good. But yeah, that's like the best thing from it, the performances, because even like the score was generic. It has kind of like this old visual style that's kind of cool. But yeah, I just felt like it was a very predictable movie. Uh, but a lot of people felt like really loved it. I guess connected with the characters, but I felt like I've seen those characters in many, many other movies with very similar arcs that I knew where this was going and I knew how it was executed. Actually reminded me a lot of Alexander Payne's About Schmidt, which I think got nominated for some Academy Awards as well. I know at least for Best Actor for Jack Nicholson, and that also had a great performance from Jack Nicholson, but had a very generic story, very predictable plot, very safe plot, very schmaltzy score. And it was the same thing where it was critically praised, and I gave that the same rating of a 5 out of 10. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of The Holdovers. But I knew it would get nominated for Best Picture. I know a lot of people watching this are probably in love with that movie, and that's totally cool. I guess that's like this year's, like, what was it? The one that Spielberg did last year? The Fablemans? Okay, Killers of a Flower Moon. Sorry, I just thought upset. Killers of Flower Moon makes total sense. I like Killers of Flower Moon a lot. I gave it a 7. It is Scorsese's. Uh, Let me see. It's Scorsese's first Western. It's a bit. Actually, it's pretty dang overlong for me. I do wish it was like maybe 2:30, 2 hours at most. But yeah, the courtroom section kind of gets to the Scorsese tropes we kind of recognize, and it doesn't feel like it has a great use of time. There's a great DiCaprio performance, and I do like its exploration of, how these people kind of ruined another group of people. And I thought the performance from Lily Gladstone, which is definitely going to be nominated for Best Actress, was great as well. I thought De Niro was great. So yeah, great movie for Killers of the Flower Moon. I actually exited out on the iPad. This is the one where I saw that I was like, Maestro's getting nominated for Best Picture. Like, people were kind of like, critics even kind of said, okay, this is kind of like a little bit overrated from what I saw. It didn't really get great ratings from critics, so that's kind of a surprising one. Another one I haven't seen, but I will be seeing now because I definitely got to see this for the Oscars. Don't know if I'll be live streaming the Oscars. We'll have to wait and see. Oppenheimer, totally predictable. Knew like that it would be nominated, not like the movie itself. Another huge upset, probably bigger than the holdovers, because I feel like a lot of people. Well, no, I guess a lot of people like the holdovers probably as much as Oppenheimer. But yeah, I liked Oppenheimer more than the holdovers, but I didn't really like it as much as a lot of people, and I thought it was just kind of okay. It's kind of fun, but 3 hours, way too long. And I love a lot of 3 hour movies. Just when movies don't use their time right, it could feel like it's over long. It almost feels like it's always trying to be like super epic and stuff, and it doesn't really land that feeling all the time, and had some flat characters. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Oppenheimer. I still understand why it's nominated for Best Picture. Past Lives. Past Lives is one of my favorite movies from last year. That is another one I rated at 8 out of 10. Just a great small relationship drama, where I love the concept. It has a great concept of yeah, I guess it's not a spoiler to say, but like an old flame comes back into life, of a way that is one that they connected in another country and everything. Um, so it's kind of exploring some cultural barriers and language barriers, and if that romance is still there, and the differences between her current romance and everything. And yeah, I think it was like a first time feature, so that was great as well. Love that movie. It's a super solid like 90-minute runtime. So yeah, what's next? What's next? Poor Things. Okay, Poor Things was really fun. Another 7 out of 10. I didn't love it as much as other people, but I still really did like it. I actually want to rewatch it with my mom, which I might see it with my mom today. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, it was just like an interesting exploration into, in some ways, femininity, which I found interesting. Like just like the birth of femininity, and but also like just freedom, sexual freedom. It's such a creative world that they present. I love the score. My problems would be, again, I felt like 2 hours 20 was pushing it for what they explored, and I felt like that section towards the latter half was a little bit too long, and I didn't like some of the use of CGI. But yeah, I do love a lot about it, and I can't wait to watch it again. And then finally, Zone of Interest. Okay, Zone of Interest. I cannot wait to watch. That's like my most anticipated movie of the year, and I still need to watch it. It just hasn't hit my area yet. But I love Jonathan Glazer's 3 other movies. Uh, Sexy Beast has a funny name, but that's a great movie you could show just to about anybody. It's just a solid crime heist thriller movie. It's like a fantastic movie. That's a 9 out of 10 for me. Birth, I remember really liking, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Um, but I remember liking the performance. Uh, the concept was just so crazy. I thought that was interesting how they explored it. And then what is it called? Under the Skin, a lot of people seem to like, and I really enjoyed that as well. Uh, One of the creepiest movies. I mean, it has some very creepy scenes in there, like genuinely scary scenes, which is something I can't say with a lot of other horror movies. But yeah, try and see what's missing here. I didn't expect it to be nominated, but Fallen Leaves was my favorite movie last year, and it's not nominated, which makes me sad. But they rarely nominate foreign movies, like foreign language movies at least, so that makes me sad that didn't make the list still. Another one would be Iron Claw. I loved Iron Claw last year. Was it my second favorite? It might be my third favorite. I'm not entirely sure, but Iron Claw was fantastic. Some good ones I saw recently was like All of Us Strangers isn't on here. That's kind of sad that didn't get nominated. Blackberry, I would love to see nominated, didn't get nominated. But not the worst crop of Best Picture nominees. Some surprises there, like Barbie. Really, the only weak ones to me would be Maestro from what I've heard. But again, I don't even know. It could be a good movie. I haven't seen that one. And then Holdovers, but most people would disagree with that. So Yeah, Barbie's was a surprise. I'm just like, what? Okay, so actor in leading role, Bradley Cooper and Maestro. Again, more Maestro stuff. Coleman, Domingo, and Rustin, which I heard that movie, again, was the same, where it was like this, oh, this is going to be the Oscar winner. This is going to be the Oscar winner. And then it came out, and a lot of critics didn't really care for it. But I did hear, even from those reviews, that Coleman Domingo was still great. Paul Giamatti and the Holdovers. Again, I don't love the movie. I want him to win out of the three that we've gone through. Because, I mean, I love Paul Giamatti. Like, he deserved, like, it would be so cool to give Paul Giamatti a best actor in a leading role. He deserves it for a great performance in the Holdovers, too. Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer. I did like Cillian as well. So I do kind of want him, but I do want Paul Giamatti over Cillian because I think Cillian has a lot of great performances ahead of him. I'm sure Paul Giamatti does as well, but it's like Paul Giamatti's been in the game. Well, I guess Cillian has been as well. Those two, those are more so like people I like more so than the movies. But like I said, they're good performances. And finally, Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction, which I still gotta see. Out of all these, anybody missing? I'm not thinking of any coming to mind. I guess supporting would be like is it, I forgot, is it Glenn Howerton for Blackberry? Okay, so actor in supporting role, Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling in Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. All right, it's great performances here. Again, haven't seen American Fiction. Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon. I really liked him in there. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Does anybody notice? I didn't notice that DiCaprio didn't get nominated for Killers of the Flower Moon for leading role. That's actually interesting because I did like DiCaprio's role. Huh. All right. I was just recognizing that now with De Niro. And then Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. Nope. I like Robert Downey, but I thought he was just kind of phoning it in for that. Like, he was doing another Robert Downey kind of cocky role for me that I was just like, nope, I'm good. Ryan Gosling in Barbie. Loved Ryan Gosling in Barbie. He put so much energy into that. That was fantastic. So it was a very comedic role. And then Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. I thought he put a lot of energy into that very comedic role. Like, he was fantastic. So I'm cool with any of them winning, except I haven't seen American Fiction yet, and I don't want Robert Downey. I would honestly want one of the comedic ones, so Ryan Gosling or Mark Ruffalo. But, De Niro is fine. It's like, De Niro. I liked Ruffalo and Gosling's performances more in those respective movies. So actress in a leading role, Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction. Wait, I was like, what? Did Sterling K. Brown transition? No, okay. Actress in leading role. Annette Bening in what? Naiad? I haven't even heard of that movie. Is this like going to be the To Leslie of like 2024's Oscars where they like did a unregulated like campaign or something? Enyad? But I mean, I liked To Leslie last year, but I don't know what Enyad is. It's Annette Bening though, so I gotta see Enyad. Naiad? I don't know. Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon. She was great. I recently saw her in, is it 20th Century Woman or Certain Woman? I get them mixed up. Is it Mike Mills? And the other one is Kelly Reichardt. Whatever. She was great in that movie. I forgot. Is it? I don't remember the name. Maybe it is Certain Woman. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. Oh, she's great. And I heard she's in Zone of Interest too, so that's interesting as well. Carey Mulligan in Maestro. Oh, so much Maestro. Okay, you're doing Maestro. You should give Tar some love. Emma Stone in Poor Things. I'm more on it. I mean, she was fantastic in there. I loved her in The Curse. So like, I'm on that high of The Curse. But honestly, I'd be down for Lily, Sandra, Emma. All great. But I gotta see the other two, and they're probably great in there too. Actress in supporting role, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. She didn't leave an impression on me. I am kind of sad that they didn't put Fallen Leaves woman in actress in leading role. So actress in supporting role. So yeah, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Daniel Brooks in Color Purple, America Ferrera and Barbie. That one's kind of weird. I don't like that one. I like America Ferrera. She was fine in Barbie, but like her performance wasn't like amazing to be nominated for a supporting role. I'm trying to think of somebody who would take her place though, and I'm sure there's so many, but my mind escapes me. Honestly, where's the actors from Past Lives? Past Lives should be getting some actor nominations. At least the lead actress. Like that one was very surprising. Okay. And well, we got Davine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. Okay, that makes sense. Jodie Foster in Naiad. What is Naiad? What is this? I haven't heard of this. I have not heard of this movie, and I try to look for all the movies that come out. But that's great. I mean, a great movie I haven't heard of. Okay, I hope it. Like I can't wait to see it. So yeah, interesting nominees here. More Naiad. America Ferrera is like what? Honestly, again, I'm not a huge Holdovers fan, but out of the ones I have seen, I'd pick that one. Davine was fantastic. She was great. So, yeah. Best Animated Feature. The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is really, 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 really interesting. Whoa, okay. I did not expect Robot Dreams to be nominated for Best Animated Feature Film. That was just something like I heard from YMS mentioned like once as like a good, really good animated movie, but I haven't heard anybody else talk about it or anything. So that's really cool. I thought they would do freaking Wish or Leo or what else was there? Migration, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But honestly, I wasn't really a fan of any of those. I mean, I haven't seen Migration, but let's be honest. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Nimona, I wasn't a fan of, really, unfortunately. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did a review on this channel. I did a review on my letterbox. But yeah, I just felt like the humor wasn't hitting. The story had some very annoying like plot conveniences and just things that were tampered with for theatrics that just didn't feel natural. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of that movie. But I liked the animation and I liked what it said for trans people and stuff like that. Elemental was very, very boring. Somehow I saw it 1.8 times. The Boy and the Heron. I'm sorry, y'all. The animation looked cool, but I mean, even that wasn't like the most distinguishable from other Ghibli features I love. And I was not into the story. I was very bored by The Boy and the Heron. Another controversial one. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse I loved. So out of all those, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I mean, I gave a 7. It was one of my top 15 of the year, I think. So I'd pick Spider-Verse. But I gotta see Robot Dreams. But that's great, because that means Robot Dreams is getting a release in theaters. I can't wait. Cinematography, they gave El Conde a nomination, which I haven't heard anything about, but it's Pablo Larraín's new film. So that's really cool for Edward Lackman. I really want to see that movie. It's on Netflix. Killers of the Flower Moon, Rodrigo Prieto. Didn't really care for the cinematography of that. Like the visuals of that movie were fine. I like more of the set designing flows as the most visual thing that I would like pull from there visually as the most visual thing. As the thing I would pull the most recognizable from the movie visually, like that worked for me. I don't know. I worded those weirdly. You get what I mean. And then Maestro, haven't seen. Matthew Libatique, Oppenheimer. Wasn't really into the cinematography of Oppenheimer either. I mean, no nomination for Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall had lovely cinematography, Haneke-esque in some moments. Yeah, that should have been nominated. Anatomy of a Fall should have been nominated for cinematography. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I loved Fallen Leaves, but they wouldn't give anything to Fallen Leaves. So yeah, and from what I heard, Zone of Interest apparently has amazing cinematography. So really, no Zone of Interest, Nom? Are you kidding me? But yeah, lastly, Poor Things with Robbie Ryan. So Poor Things, I think, is probably my favorite out of those. Yeah, because Poor Things had some great cinematography. But I still gotta see El Conde and Maestro. Costume design, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. So Napoleon got a nom. Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Uh, I might give it to Barbie, honestly. I love Barbie's costume designs, but Killers of the Flower Moon, like I said, had great costume design. Napoleon, I don't remember being notable for costume design, but I just don't really remember a lot of that movie. It's very boring. Oppenheimer, don't remember really the costume design on that movie specifically. Poor Things, I remember having some cool outfits. I love her dress. Directing, wait, what? Oh yeah, duh. I'm sorry. I like blanked out for a second there. Anatomy of a Fall, Justine Triet, uh, excellently directed. Go to the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese. Again, I feel like not one of Scorsese's best. Oppenheimer, again, not one of my favorite Nolans. Poor Things, I thought was fantastically directed. And Zone of Interest, Jonathan Glazer. Gotta see that. Can't wait to see that. So I think I like Poor Things. No, Anatomy of a Fall. I like Anatomy of a Fall the most out of those for Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Poor Things. Documentary feature film, Bobby Wine, The People's President. Haven't seen that. Eternal Memory I did see. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good look at like Alzheimer's, I believe it was. But yeah, it was good, but it didn't leave like the biggest impact on me. It felt brief at points. I don't know. Four Daughters I still gotta see. I'm glad these will get releases because I really want to see $4, but I didn't think it would get a release around here. But since these have been nominated, I'm sure they will. To Kill a Tiger I haven't seen, and 20 Days in Marple I haven't seen. Documentary short films, The ABCs of Book Banning. That sounds fun. I gotta check that out. Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Nine and Wai Pie. I hope I said that right. Haven't seen any of those. Film editing, Anatomy of a Fall, Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Really? Okay, Oppenheimer's one. Killers of the Flower Moon for best editing. That's kind of like a joke. Like even so many critics I know have said, okay, yeah, I love this movie, but it's a little bit too long. Should this even be on here, or should this be on Apple or streaming? I remember Commode said that. I remember Double Toasted were talking about Corey. So yeah, that's a joke. Like really, come on. Anatomy of a Fall. Again, I love Anatomy of a Fall. One thing is it feels like a tad over long, so maybe not that. And I know film editing is more than just the pacing. The Holdovers, no. Oppenheimer, no. So Poor Things also feels a little tad over long. So that's, man, I don't know if I like any of these nominations for editing, and I've seen them all. I guess Anatomy of a Fall, but yeah. I mean, Anatomy of a Fall, like, I'm just looking at pacing because like there's so much to how effective it conveys its messages, its characters, everything, and how the scenes are arranged. So yeah, there's that as well. Anatomy of a Fall did that great. Poor Things did that great. International feature film. Ooh, this is always fun. El Capitano, Italy. Perfect Days, Japan, which I still gotta see. Wim Wenders, right? I saw a commercial for that last time I went to the theater. Society of Snow. That was nominated. I haven't seen that yet, but I saw it on Netflix. And I was like, because my mom and I have been watching like crappy movies, some good movies lately. So we've just been doing the streamer stuff, and I was like, that movie I heard was good, and she was like, I don't know, but wow, that was by Jay Bayona, who's like, he did like Jurassic World 2. Teacher's Lounge, I heard is good, been wanting to see it. Glad that'll get released. And Zone of Interest, wow, for United Kingdom. Okay. I'm just really hyped to see that for sure. I mean, I love international features, so I haven't seen any of these, which is crazy because I watched so many. But no Fallen Leaves. Are you crazy? Like, I can't speak if these are all better than Fallen Leaves. They might be. I have to see each one. But come on, you should nominate Fallen Leaves for international feature. Come on. Yeah, but I can't wait to see all of these, and I'm glad they'll get releases. Makeup and Hairstyling, Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Society of Snow. Yeah, I can't speak much. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, only ones I've seen. Music, Original Score, American Fiction, haven't seen. Dial of Destiny. It was a weaker John Williams. Even die-hard indie fans could say that was a weaker John Williams. Like, come on. Killers of the Flower Moon. I didn't like the use of that guitar in the score. Oppenheimer. Okay, it did have a pretty cool score. And Poor Things, please, Poor Things had an amazing score. It pops into my head. Like, it just randomly pops into my head. Like, I love that score. Music original song, The Fire Inside from Flaming Hot. The Flaming Hot movie got a nomination. What the fudge? I'm just Ken. That's probably gonna win, and that one's deserving. I haven't seen Flaming Hot, by the way. Maybe it's great. Um, that's from Barbie, of course. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. That's interesting, and a nom for American Symphony. I guess we didn't get to documentaries yet, so that's probably nom for documentaries. Wazahahi, a song for my people from Killers of the Flower Moon. That one was pretty good. And What Was I Made For? So two Barbie original songs. Dang. Wow. Okay. The Billie Eilish one. I don't remember that one. But yeah, I'm Just Ken is the one I'll vote for. Production design, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Poor Things had good production design. Oppenheimer, it wasn't something I noted. Napoleon wasn't something I noted. Killers of the Flower Moon, yes, that had good production design, but Barbie, I think, would probably be my pick for production design. Short films animated, Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. Haven't seen any of those. Short film live action, The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue. And look at that, The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar. So there you go. That actually got nominated, a Wes Anderson, which is so weird because, oh, okay, so they're just nominating that. Because I'm like, the whole collection is 90 minutes, but I guess they're just nominating that 30-minute section. I haven't seen that yet. I gotta see that. I tried to watch at least the animated shorts. So yeah, did we do animated shorts? Yeah, okay. So I can't wait to see those. But maybe I'll try to see the live action shorts this time. No noms for Asteroid City, which is kind of interesting. Sound, The Creator, which I don't know if that had great sound. I guess it was just the loudest movie, and they like nominating the loudest movies. Maestro, I guess because music. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, loud. Oppenheimer, loud. Zone of Interest, haven't seen, but I heard that does have great sound. Fallen Leaves, stuff like that, but nope, they don't care. Visual effects, The Creator. The Creator did have good visual effects for some parts, for some of the robots, but some of the other CGI for landscapes was kind of bad. Godzilla -1, interesting to see that nommed. Haven't seen that yet. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah, had good visual effects, I guess. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Whatever. I didn't really like that movie. I like the Mission Impossibles usually. Napoleon for visual effects. No. Writing, adapted screenplay. American Fiction. Barbie. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Zone of Interest. Adapted screenplay. Well, I haven't seen Zone of Interest yet, but or American Fiction, but maybe Poor Things. I really like the the dialogue of Poor Things. Yeah, and yeah, how the direction they went with the story and everything. Yeah, maybe Poor Things. Let me see. Original screenplay. There's Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December. So May December gets one nom. Okay. Past Lives. I mean, I liked May December. I haven't talked about it. I haven't done my Letterboxd review. I feel like I want to rewatch it though, because I feel like I didn't get the full experience. Past Lives, Maestro, Holdovers, Anatomy of a Fall, May December. My pick would be Past Lives, but Anatomy of a Fall would be great as well for original screenplay. I was like, did we miss something? But I think that's it. Wow. Okay. Whew. That is a lot of nominations. But it was so much fun to go through each of these. I cannot wait for the Oscars. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a little live show. Maybe I won't. I still got to do the Curse finale, my thoughts and everything. So just subscribe here for more film-related content, and I'll see you later. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on the nominations. Peace out. Bye.